Hi folks, and welcome to another day, another survivor in DayZ. So we've started out in an area that we haven't begun in before, called Prigorodki, something like that. And it's just east of Cherno. So it's a relatively quiet place, I say as a zombie comes up and I pop him in the head. But so far, no survivors, and as you can see from the top, that's the first zombie I've come across. The top right. So one zombie killed and one headshot. So off to a kind of good start, depending on how you look at it, although I do appear to have taken a small amount of damage. So at the moment, no sign of any other survivors. A few zombies around. And we're already near our first building, right near the coast. So it's time to check it out and see what it holds inside. As this is just like a random sort of outhouse building, I don't hold too high hopes, but it seems to be a pretty good sort of supply-based loot in here. No super awesome weapons or anything like that, but nevertheless some you know, valuable items, stuff that can keep you alive. So, time to start filling up the backpack. Bandage is always useful, baked beans, and today I had an actual tin of Heinz baked beans and it was delicious. So it seems pretty quiet outside. Just want to make sure that I take full advantage of all the loot here. So whilst I'm messing about with the loot, today's episode is going to be quite a long one, kind of like similar length to the first episode, about 50 minutes. But what I've had to do is, there was a part of it where I was running for an awful long time, and it was kind of a case of, do I make the episode that much longer and have all this long running through a forest in it, you know, with heavy panting and pausing for breath, or do I give you guys a good flavour of what that journey is going to be like, and then sort of skip to the next, just before the next interesting part where I get to something. And I decided to see how it goes down if we sort of edit that bit and shorten it down. So I'm keen to hear your feedback, whether or not you like the approach once you've had a watch of it and see how it fits together. Or you'd rather I just leave in any long runs, regardless of how long they are. So try not to prejudge. Do see how the editing's done and see if you get a taste of the journey before it cuts. So I'm just trying to take a look around the area to see if there are any other sort of farmhouse style buildings, in hope that I might come across a Winchester. Definitely is a weapon that I'm a huge fan of at the moment. It's readily available. Ammo seems maybe slightly on the sparser side. Just tweaking my my settings there in case I come across any other survivors. I don't want the music to overpower them, but I do like the way that the music sort of adds value. So yeah, excuse me whilst I'm fiddling with this.
Cannot fire.
So yeah, I want a Winchester or something better than the Makarov. As much as the Makarov is okay, the real problem I find with it is that it just doesn't kill the zombies in one hit. So over on the horizon there you can see some sort of industrial buildings, so I've decided I want to go and check that out. Another sort of a small farmhousey sort of area on the right there. Again, could yield weapons. Looks like there's a barn as well. But I think I'll go and take a look at the building in front first. It looks relatively quiet. The coast looks kind of clear. Doesn't seem to be any zombies, so I think it's safe to run. I know it makes a little extra noise and increases my visibility, but hey. And yeah, didn't spot that guy. Is he going to come and be a bother? Looks like he might be making a U-turn to come for us. We'll see. Okay, so it's not entirely clear. We've got somebody around the sort of left-hand side of the area, possibly where I might have originally looked to make an entrance. So I just got this one guy coming, so I'm thinking, if I take him out now, maybe other zombies are not clear enough, or sorry, not close enough to be attracted by the gunshot. So, looking over my shoulder, the coast appears clear, and let's see if this zombie has any loot of use on him. And I wonder where all the female zombies are. I haven't come across any. We had a female survivor yesterday, albeit with a man's voice. Okay, here comes the next customer. Hello. And his friend. Again, always worth just taking a quick look to see if they've got any loot. And this guy had an empty soda can. Again, not of use, but I have had valuable items, well, relatively valuable items from zombies like food and such. So I just want to slowly make my way in here. You know, something to consider in areas near spawns is the chances of other survivors doing the same thing and in the same area as you is a lot higher than if you are further away from the spawn. So although there may not be zombies around, being a little bit more cautious and a little bit more quiet, you know, it could save your life if there was somebody nearby who wasn't friendly. And as we've seen, they're definitely about, those unfriendly folks. So I'm hearing that zombie growling outside, and I'm not sure if he's snarling because he's thinking, yes, fresh meat, and is making his way into the building, or if he's just outside, you know, generally having a good old grunt. So MP5 mag, again, I'm just leaving it there. I haven't got an MP5, haven't seen one, and not worth taking the inventory space up at the moment. Morphine, you know, I don't break my leg that often, but I have the free space right now, and it is an item that can be useful. So again, just taking a look over my shoulder before I just double check that there's nothing else there I need, and that's it. Nope, I'm good. Taking a little look out the window. I haven't heard any other gunshots from other survivors, so coast seems clear. They're just going about their business. Don't mind me, folks. The ominous thunderclap. It was just finishing raining when I spawned, so it was nice to know that I had avoided that weather. The temperature system has yet to prove as a problem for me yet, but but I'll be interested when it does. I always, if I come across a heat pack, hold on to it as long as it seems sensible. So I'm trying to make a decision, should I go over to this other small area? You know, I haven't really got that Winchester that I was hoping for, and that's something that I'd like to try and acquire as soon as possible before I start making inroads. So my approach in this sort of life, as I would call it, you know, before I die, whenever that might be, is to try and take a more steady approach, just slightly more avoiding contact, gather some items and actually make some good progress, because last few times I've lived like maybe 30 minutes at a time, and you know, a lot of the cool stuff and I think a lot of the fun stuff will happen, you know, in the more northern parts of the continent, where you've got, you know, bigger military bases, bigger aircraft sort of potential at the landing strips or airstrips. So yeah, you know, my view as I'm walking around is, let's do some scavenging, let's move a bit further inland and try and find something more interesting. But you know, priority, and a big priority for the time being, and you know, for a chunk of the future in my mind right now, is let's try and get you know, a good amount of gear and ammo and feel comfortable and move inland. Let's get away from these coastal areas and try and find something more substantial. Maybe a car. So there's a few zombies around. There's that guy hopping to the right. I'd like to go in that barn, but I know the main doors on the this end of the barn are blocked, so I need to go around the side if I want to get in. That side on the right there in front of us is looking pretty hazardous, so I'm hoping I might be able to get in on the left hand side. Not sure if he's seen me, he's grizzled a bit. I don't know if he's just going about his business, maybe going to the shops or something to get some brains. But he doesn't seem too bothered about me at this time. So close the door behind me. Still don't know if the doors now make a difference or not to the zombies in the latest beta patch, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually. So I saw that sort of light shape outside, and I wasn't sure if it was a survivor, but yeah, it's a zombie. And bingo! Winchester, which is exactly what I was looking for. There was a crossbow over there, but nah. I know the Winchester. Let's take it. It's got a nice amount of ammo, one shot, and the zombie's killed. One time I'll try at the crossbow, but not today. So feeling a lot better now I've got that crossbow. So I want to check out this little ammo pouch. It's getting stuck on the jerry can there. So it's going to close that door, make me feel a little bit better about the chaps outside. So I can hear the sort of staggering and stepping, and I'm like, not a survivor, I think. And so I had a look, and then, nope, it's that zombie, and get on with business. What do I want out of this? So I can take some more Makarov ammo, and there's another bandage there as well. So yeah, Makarov ammo definitely a priority for me. And yeah, I'm clicking, but nothing's really happening, so I'm like, hurry up, and there you go, looks like it was just lag. So I'm opting not to take all the bandages, but I'm just trying to rejig my inventory a little bit to see how I can prioritize what I am taking. And yeah, so I've decided I'm going to take ammo over, little survival tools at this point. I just think for the time being, ammo is king, especially with the few zombies hanging around. And there's, zombies are bound to be a problem in my life going forward, so ammo, ammo, ammo. So I'm thinking if I take the water bottle out of my backpack, then I can put the water bottle there, and now I can put the bandage in here. Excellent. So I managed to squeeze an extra bandage in. Taking a look left and right and across the road. Let's take a look in this barn. At a glance, nothing immediately of interest. Some flares and ammo for guns that I don't have. But there's a can of Franken beans. I decide I've got enough food for the time being. So later on in this episode, I take the approach that if there's a can of food on the floor and my backpack's already full with a good amount of food and water, then I'll just eat what's on the floor, just to top me up, so I don't need to worry about it. And if I just leave it there, in terms of my survivability, it's gone to waste. Sure, I'm helping out somebody else maybe if I leave it, but gotta look after number one. You never know when food might become an issue, and being not hungry for that extra 10 minutes could make all the difference. So that guy is definitely crawling towards me. Don't want to have to deal with him really, and I'm like, I can go faster than you, I'm sure. So I'm trying to ignore him for now. Pretend he's not there. Nope, so somebody's decided that I am definitely in for a chomping, so I try and just run out into a clearing a little bit so I've got some space around me so that if I shoot I hopefully don't attract too many. So I've already got 3 coming, so 1's down, 2's down. Missed. 3's down. Here's somebody else coming. 4's down. And I'm bleeding, so time to bandage up. So I'm, in my mind at this point, I'm feeling better about faffing about and getting that extra bandage because, it's made all the difference. Now I've just had to use one. So again, just want to take a quick look at the zombies. So I learned as I was going through this that if it's just the icon with like the M16 and the little arrows around it, without the arrows around it, it doesn't appear that the body will have any loot on it. But if it's the gun with the arrows around it, there's some loot on it. And although the menu on the left hand side will show you that you can take an item, that doesn't mean it's the only item on them. So if you get that gun icon with the arrows around it, go into the gear option and see what they have, because they could have more than the one thing that's listed in the menu to take from them. So I'm trying to move away from town a bit now. You know, I've got my Winchester, but some more customers. Again, 3 bullets is what the Makarov seems to need. And there's his 3rd bullet. So, well, I'm just taking a quick scan over the buildings behind me because, you know, that's where survivors often start, and that gunfire and my previous shotgun, you know, firing could have attracted unwanted attention. So, just trying to take a quick look, and you know, it looks clear. So again, just taking a quick gander at these bodies. And as you can see, there was no arrows and no loot. So this says you can take something. So he had coke on him. So I temporarily put the smoke grenade on his body, drink the can of coke, and then take the smoke grenade back. Okay, I'm going to move over a bit closer to the house. Make sure that my shotgun is loaded as much as possible, and also my Makarov. Just slowly edge my way around. A bit nervous about the guy on the right, don't want to attract him. It doesn't look like that building's one we can go inside. So I want to go towards the tree line, but I don't want to go around that guy. So I figure if I go through here, around through the broken wall, that's going to be a much safer option. In hindsight, doing a little run there was incredibly risky. Here, grunt. There's somebody coming. I suppose it's quite rich calling them somebody, but hey, once upon a time they were somebody. So I felt like my mouse, like when I was moving it left and right, was significantly more sensitive than moving up and down. Like it didn't feel right, so I just wanted to check my settings there, and yeah, it looked like the same. You know, the axes were set the same. So yeah, this guy obviously heard me run, so took care of him. Now, for the time being at least, zombies don't seem to spawn or make their way into the woods. You know, they tend to be around populated areas. So with these power lines here, I decided that I'd like to try and follow them because they may go to a power station or to like a bigger area, and it seemed to be kind of in the northish direction that I wanted to go. And it is quite a long run until I find any sort of sign of civilization. And I just hug the tree line all the way and keep checking behind me to make sure that I'm not being followed. But really, it's just a big old long run. And so we skip to the next destination. And I found a road, and there's an indication that there's a city up ahead. So I've decided to stick to the tree line and sort of follow the road in a little bit. You know, I don't want to be seen sort of jolly running towards the city by any survivors that might be in town already. Just trying to, you know, look ahead and see if I can get any taste of what type of buildings that are there, and what loot I might be able to find. So this town that I am approaching is actually called Pusta. So if you guys have your Cherno, or can't even remember the name of the continent now, but if you have your map of the DayZ area, then you'll be able to look it up. So I'm sort of much closer to the town now, and I couldn't see any sign of survivors. And because of the way that the hill is in front of me there, I figure it's okay to go on the road a little bit. So I'm feeling there's a bit of risk here because of the zombies that are up ahead. So I'm just trying to check all my supplies, make sure that I'm set up well, so things like having a bandage readily available out of the backpack. So I can see sort of a barn-like structure on the right there, so that's on my agenda to check out when I can. Trying to keep an eye on all the zombies, see which direction they're going in. Not that they are entirely predictable. But so I was hoping to sort of walk up that road, but now that guy's walking up across it. It's like it's a very tricky sort of thing. There used to be a game I played. I think it was called Commandos, and it was like a top-down strategic game where you had several commandos, and a lot of it was about watching the patrol patterns of the Axis soldiers so that you could move across and not get killed, and you know, not get seen by them. And it feels a lot like this to me, or this feels a lot like that rather. And yeah, I've been caught on his patrol, Captain Crawley, and he's down. And this is quite a zombie-rich area, so I'm trying to just back up a little bit, so I've got good visibility of any zombies that are coming. And yep, here they come. Missed. Well, I got that guy the first time, but evidently not. Okay. Any more customers? Bird flies over. I tried to have a look, but no, couldn't hear it. Where there it calls. Here comes another one. So in the old Operation Flashpoint games and in the ArmA games, outside of this mod, there were instances where if you died, you turned into a crow, or if you were spectating, you turned into a crow, that you could sort of manually fly around and just watch what's happening now that you're dead or as a spectator. And I think it'd be awesome to be a crow in DayZ and just sort of like follow a survivor and see what they do, and I think that'd be pretty cool. So I often wonder when I hear a crow call, is that somebody who's managed to spectate? I believe it's totally disabled in DayZ, but yeah, that often goes through my mind, and I do think it'd be kind of cool to be the crow anyway. So yeah, this chap has a can of sardines, lovely. So taking my new approach of popping the smoke grenade on him temporarily, eating the sardines. It would not be my dining choice to eat next to a rotting zombie, but hey. So I'm thinking at this point in time I've killed quite a number of zombies, so I think I should be safe for the time being to just sort of run into town. Well, at least make my way safely into town, but you know, I'm already hearing loud grumbles. I haven't even reached this knackered car yet and somebody's already gunning for me. I was like, oh man, I just want to walk around the car and trick you, but no. And here comes another one. And another one. There's So I'm getting really cheesed off at this point and a little bit worried that things might go pear-shaped, so I try and run away a bit, get out my Winchester. Let's try and clean up this mess. And here comes another one, and another one, and another one. And Poppy as well, and another one. So I'm like, oh crap, I've really, how am I setting all these guys off? So yeah, I'm feeling a bit frustrated. You know, I just want to move through the town. I didn't really want to kill 5 million zombies, but it's the nature of the beast. And another one. So at this point, I've kind of lost track of what bodies I've checked over for loot, and I'm kind of like, and here comes more. Now see, if I had the crossbow, maybe things would have gone differently. Maybe because it's a silent weapon, I would not have attracted so many zombies. On the flip side, I've got like 3 bolts probably. So 3 bolts versus this many zombies. I don't know, I'm going to try it one day, I guess. It's going to be an interesting thing, you know. Is the fact that it's a stealth weapon make up for the lack of ammo, or how expensive it is in terms of inventory space? So I'm not sure if I've checked these guys over, so I'm just going to have a quick... No, that's clear, that looks clear. So again, try and make my way into town. Just taking a quick peek around the bush to see if that door was open, but it's not, and I didn't anticipate that it would open, so I decided to leave it. So I'm deciding that the main road is looking a little bit dicey, so I'm trying to just step off it slightly and maybe try and go around the back to get access to this barn. I suppose calling it a barn is pretty rich. It's actually a lot smaller than that, but shack, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I had no idea what that sound was, and I don't think I ever find out. Sounds like some farm machinery falling over or something. So I'm hearing that little snarl, and I'm wondering, not again, please. I'm trying to, you know, as I'm crawling around, make high-level judgments about whether or not these buildings are ones that I can actually get into. And, you know, I'm thinking there's a lot of buildings here, but so many of them are not accessible, you know. Forgetting the zombies, they just don't seem to be doors that can be opened, which is a bit disappointing, really, especially considering all the zombies I had to kill just to sort of make my way into the town. So another Makarov mag, brilliant. I've got space for the water bottle, so I'll take it for now. So lots of wood around here, but until the day I come across a match I'm not going to bother picking up any wood, especially as I believe I've already picked up a hatchet at this point, so I need only find a tree and I can get wood. I'll take a little look around, questioning if I can go in that house in any entry. Again, you know, no survivors around. It seems really quiet. But I have moved off the beaten track a little bit. You know, I've moved inland, gone through woods and stuff, and popped out in you know, totally different places. So I'm not. As I'm walking around, I'm not overly worried about survivors. I'm thinking maybe they would, they would let their presence known intentionally or otherwise before I would know about them or come into contact with them. So I'm trying to be very careful. You know, I've got a lot of trees around me, which means my visibility is low. I'm by a lot of walls and buildings, and even though I wanted to be careful, here comes another one. And I'm standing up just so I can maybe get a little bit more mobility and take a look around, see if I've attracted anyone. So I'm trying to tuck myself in a corner here, and I'm figuring, you know, if somebody's gonna come, then they can come, you know, from a set number of directions. You know, they can't come out my back. So I leant around the corner and popped this guy. I got off relatively scot-free in comparison to all the other instances of zombies we've come across in this small town. So I can hear the exhausted groans of a zombie, and I reckon he's coming around the corner, so I just wait, and I'm like, I'm sure he's gonna come. And sure enough, predictable. For once. So at this point I'm getting a bit nervous that I've been using the Winchester a lot and I could be running low on ammo. So I switched to the Makarov and reload it to make sure that it's ready to go. If I can, I'd like to try and conserve that Winchester ammo. So I'm pleasantly surprised when I noticed the broken windows on this building, as it means I can go inside. So again, you know, a zombie was something useful. A can of pasta. I'm not hugely hungry, but you know, I'm not hungry because as I've been going around and I find food, I've been eating it, so I'm keeping myself topped up. I'm sure this is good for my health, you know, light snacks regularly rather than big meals when you're starving. So, you know, my survivor's got to be looking pretty healthy. So I'm trying to move around this gate to sort of trigger the menu option to close it, but no such luck. So I take a little peek outside. Looks pretty clear. So I don't feel like I need to worry too much as I go inside this building about anyone else joining me or anything else. So what do we have? Nothing too exciting. Something to drink, a bandage, an empty water bottle. I've already got 2 water bottles. So I decide I'll drink the Pepsi. And nothing else of interest for me there. Let's check out the other room. So I've never seen a package like that before. So I'm like, huh, what is this? and it's camo clothing, so it's another set of clothes. So I think this is a relatively new edition where you can get things like the fully camouflaged, I think they're called guile suits or ghillie suits or something like that. You know, sort of the full look like you're wearing a whole net over you with leaves sort of job. I think they're in the game now. But yeah, I've put on my new camo clothing, which is just a brown shirt and camo trousers, apparently. So because of the type of server that I'm on, I cannot go into third-person view to show you. But you can see that my long sleeve shirt is no longer there, and you can just see my arms in front of me. So yeah, it's definitely changed. And I decided to drop my old civilian clothing on the floor. And I'm no longer wearing a hat, apparently. So I'm trying to see if there's any way I can work my inventory and maybe keep the smoke grenade, but it doesn't look like it's possible. Stopping, taking a look ahead, seeing if there's any zombies around, but there's nothing that I can see. Oh, there's one. I'm questioning, is that house one I can go into? Are any of these houses ones that I can go into? You know, am I wasting my time? So yeah, nothing in here. You'll remember from a previous episode, we came across a gun, or actually, I think that was in the beginning of one of the episodes I hadn't recorded the start of. So yeah, in the sort of porchway of a building like that, I have come across an M1911 weapon before. So yeah, always worth checking. Take a little peek around the corner, and yeah, that door looks like it doesn't open. I have made an error in judgment before where I thought a door wouldn't open, but when I went to try it, it did. So I thought, you know, I'll double check. But no. You know, normally the best way to tell is if there are windows that you can sort of see inside the building through. If they're all blocked out, I've never really come across a building where you can actually get inside. So I can hear the groans of a zombie, and I'm trying to say, right, I want to get up this hill, but I'll do it safely. So I'm trying to look to my left, I'm trying to look to my right, I'm in a crouched position, I'm just trying to slowly move forward and keep the distance between the left and the right even. And I think, sod it. Okay, let's go. Sadly, the distance wasn't enough, and they detected they heard me run away, so they came along. So only two, I'm thinking. This is not too bad. That's not so bad. I'm alright. I am bleeding a bit, so I need to bandage up. I lost a bit of blood there, but hopefully I'll gain it back over time through, you know, eating and such. Okay, so this guy had a bandage on him, which is useful because I just had to use one. So I'm thinking I would like to check the other corpse, but am I going to trigger this guy? Let's quickly have a look here. It says empty soda can. He might have something else, but not in this instance. Okay, I'm trying to back away now. So I can see those buildings up the hill that I think I missed out on before, but they don't look like they're ones I can go inside. But the other guy's caught up to me now and caught me whilst I was looking over there. So I managed to shoot him down, and he had a bandage as well. But do I have, can I afford the inventory space? I've got 1 bandage there and 2 bandages in there, so I don't really need that extra bandage. So I just reload my macro and off I go up the hill. So my plan at this time is to try and cut through the tree line in the jungle and make my way to a city called Staroy, just because it looks like it's the next near sort of bigger town. So I'm hoping I might be able to maybe find a car or something useful, just so that I can make my journey north that much quicker. Otherwise I'm going to be on foot. Interesting sign. And here come some new friends. I'm not too sure where or how they heard me. I didn't see them, so it's very tempting to reload there. And he is down. So well, that's all for this part of the episode, folks. It was a bit of a longer one, and that's not all of it. I've needed to split this up a little bit. So next time we will continue on to the next destination, and we'll see what happens. I just like to take a second to say thanks to all the people that have been subscribing. It's really encouraging, and I always appreciate it. When you guys can leave a comment and let me know your feedback. As I do try and take into consideration what people are asking for or what people seem to like. So yeah. Of particular note in this episode, I'm keen to hear what you guys think of editing out that little bit of a long run there. But yeah, see you next time. Thanks.